let's just rip, okay? So I'm looking at the schedule that Vilja put together, and she made the president's report first. So I'm going to combine mine with also with the editorial report. And since that's at the top of my list, I'll start there. So we've had tremendous success with getting editorials printed, published in the last month. 3 of them were in regards to Women's Equality Day. Jill wrote a piece on women's equality in education, and it was published, help me out, I think it was the Venice Gondolier,
Right.
and might have also appeared in another publication in Manatee. Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, because I think that if Nancy were here, maybe she would be able to tell us. Because we developed a strategy of sending it, well, every publication wants to be the exclusive. We've found that we can send it to very different markets and they don't necessarily care. So we've had success in some pieces being published in South County and in Manatee County. There was a piece that was published in 2 venues, and that was on women's reproductive rights and women's equality. And then just on Sunday, the Sarasota Herald Tribune published our piece on the SAVE Act that Art Hardy was the primary author of that. And I just tweaked it so that it could become connected with Women's Equality Day and the SAVE Act. And that was, I'm sure many of you saw, was like more than we ever expected,
Right.
with really tremendous coverage. We're very grateful. And my last thing about the editorial is that today, and along with my thank you to Roger Brown at the Sarasota Herald Tribune, and telling him how grateful we were for the coverage, I also attached an op-ed on Constitution Day, which also Art has primarily crafted, and explained to him that I understand that this was exhibited great chutzpah on my part, and that I did not expect him to automatically publish it, but wanted to give him first shot and let us know if back to back was more than he could do, as I would very much understand, and then we'll publish that somewhere else. My next quick update is on the is something new. It's nascent. We were it was suggested to us that we submit an application to Ringling College Index project. Industry experience is what Index stands for, and Kim Elam, who is the recently retired head of Ringling College Design Program, and now a league member and very engaged in our graphics projects, is the person who encouraged us to apply. I submitted a proposal for Get Out the Vote 2026 that would be for both the primary and the general election. We had a preliminary meeting with Ringling on Friday, and they are very enthusiastic about it proceeding. And I mentioned Tina, I mentioned your name, and I mentioned Rachel's name, because this will be as successful as there are students and faculty that want to be involved with this. And I talked about your relationship with Rachel and how you and Kathy are there on a regular basis. And that was yet more points in our column. And so I hope to hear from him very soon about what the project, that they accept the project and moving forward.
Good.
Is there a cost on our account? Do we have to pay anything?
Yes, no. Yes, there's different options. There's basically 4 different ways to approach it. What was recommended is that we take advantage of 2 of the options, and I'm not going to go into the details about that now. Each one has a cost associated with it, and they felt pretty confident. The gentleman that we spoke with, felt pretty confident that they have funds available in, essentially scholarships for nonprofits, because they do a lot of work with corporations and they, get their expenses covered. And so they do have funds available for nonprofits. So depending upon the scope of what we're doing, yes, there will be money involved. And I don't know how much we'll have to pay. That's part of the discovery. And last but not least, I have the exciting news to say that there have been 3 minor updates to the job description document that is now posted on website. And they are 3 minor changes to the Speakers Bureau, to membership, and to the treasurer. It's the end.
That's your time.
Well, I did 2 reports. I did the president and editorial, so in fairness. All right, I'm not seeing Nancy on the call. Am I right that Nancy is not here?
Yeah.
So we'll pass on a communications report. We did editorial. Mary Pat, you're on for events.
Okay, start the timer on myself. So we are planning for, we have this meeting always takes place right before our events planning meeting. So we meet this Thursday and we'll be talking about the September 19th event. I apologize. I have been sick and have not gone on to look to see how many people are registered for the 19th, if any, yet. It just didn't get my attention. So, but we had set a goal of 40, and hopefully that will meet that, if not exceed it. I know that the communications team has done a great job of really getting out the word, and working with the Hot Topics team about that. And then we're also busy planning for October, November, and December, the annual holiday luncheon. So we've got a lot of things in the works, and so far that's it. We also have a January program we're working on as well. So all part of the Hot Topics constitutional series. Yes.
Have you, does everyone know who our guest speaker is for the holiday luncheon?
Probably not. But
Okay.
it is Diane McFarlane, who was the
Publisher.
publisher of the Sarasota Herald Tribune, right?
Right. And she's going to be speaking on integrity,
Yeah. Yeah. So
fact, fiction, or credibility of the media.
yeah. So that's exciting. We're looking forward to that.
That's great.
Any
Hot
questions?
Topics is next, and Carol reported that basically everything is there's nothing new. I can say that the postcards were just approved today, so we're sending out postcards for the September event, and we're working on the promotion for the October event.
Yeah.
Immigration is September. Freedom of the press is October.
No. September is our overview. October is the immigration. November is freedom of the press. December is the annual meeting, and January is the power of the budget cuts.
All right.
Sorry to disagree with you, but at least that's what's on my
Oh. Well, Anne, why don't you go ahead and do
Who are the Rhonda, who are the postcards being sent to?
I don't know exactly. They're members, I believe. There was, I think, I saw the number, Nancy would have the answer to that, so I'm sorry, I don't check with her. But I think there's 230 or so going out, so it was somehow targeted to members that are here in September. Anne, do you want to give us the natural resources report?
Okay. Right now, our group's trying to get a good handle on local environmental issues. We are currently on committees or are observing some of the advisory committees within the county, dealing with land conservation, stormwater services, sewer and water and sustainability. So we're getting information, and it's going well. I think the group's going well. There was a question whether we had a request. We were approached by Abby Tierna, who from the Suncoast Waterkeeper group. They spoke to us last year, if y'all recall, and they are doing a study in Northport. So if any of you people are Northport citizens, they are doing a water study on forever chemicals, PFAS, and they are wanting people to they're having some informational programs at the libraries. They have 2 more coming up. They've already had 2 at Northport Library. They have 2 coming up at Shannon Stop. If anyone is interested, I can send you a flyer on this. And they are studying water quality in Northport, and you can be a part of that and help out. So I will put my name and email in the chat. And that's what I've got.
Barbara, you're muted, so.
Is there a question?
A quick question, and is anybody in the committee concerned about these home rule issues with regard to SB 180?
SB
They've been
180.
featured in the Tribune, and mostly with regard to Manatee County, that
Right.
they're into big fight over whether or
Yeah.
not we can determine the wetlands. Does that affect us in our county as well? I assume it's a state bill.
It is, and it is a big issue, and a lot of it's getting a lot of discussion about what's going to happen to it. And I'm not exactly sure. I think that it's a role that we, as the league, it would fit us because it's a home rule issue,
Right.
and it's a bad law. And it was interestingly enough, it was introduced by Fiona, who is one of our people in the representative, although it was changed at the very last second, and she even says she would withdraw it now. But for people who don't know, it's letting developers come back in at the last and say it was billed as a hurricane thing to let people, fix things up without getting too burdened with restraints. But what they made it is something so that the developers don't have any restraints on them, and they can go back and kind of plow through. And it's being really hit in Manatee County. You're right. They're having a lot of fights over it. And so, yes, we are watching it, and I'm interested in it as a topic. I think it's something that's relevant for us.
Jill, would you talk to us about education?
Sure, I'm happy to do that. Thank you. We've been busy. Just finished the planning session of 2025, and in another month or so, we'll start posting bills for legislative session for 2026. And what the team does, the Sarasota team, is we get information from the statewide team that fortunately I co-chair. So information's pretty up to date. We look at the bills that the statewide team has decided we want to support or oppose, and we do a number of things. We write letters to the editor and editorials. We also disseminate material. A lot of it is material that was prepared at the state level, but printed by Sarasota and disseminated mostly through our library system and at Tiger Bay meetings. So it does get out there. We have an arrangement with the library system that their courier takes our material and brings it to every single library that's in the county. So we're expecting a lot of bad stuff to come down through the legislature again this year, this session, and we're going to keep an eye out for that. We also monitor school board meetings. We have an observer corps, and we've been very active. Just today, our report card went to the school board members, and it also, I don't know if you're familiar with Dear Bubby, but this woman writes this column, and for the last several months, she's been putting our report card on her blog, and it's getting noticed. It's also posted on our local league website. So that monitoring the school board has been pretty time consuming. Our last meeting was, I think it lasted about 5 hours. Then there's a workshop that they do that usually lasts a couple of hours. So that gives us some background information for the next board meeting. We're also connected with Public Education Network Sarasota, or Penn Sarasota, that you may be familiar with, I'm not sure. Right now I'm chairing that group, and we are planning a large conference, a half-day conference on November 8th, the purpose of which is to highlight some of the wonderful things that Sarasota School District does in the schools. We have great speakers. Liz Barker is doing the keynote. We have people like Harriet Moore and Tom Edwards, Sebastian Martinez, Jane Goodwin on the program. So we're going to have a big conference. Another thing that we do is a Why Vote contest. You probably heard about that. And my time is up. Thank you.
All right, thank
I
you.
like this being played off of the Oscars.
Tina, are you going to talk to us about young adult engagement? Or is it Bonnie or?
I don't think Bonnie's on the call, is she?
Yeah,
She is there.
There she is.
Tina, if you're ready to go for it.
No, you can tell them about Star.
Star, yeah. So, I mean, Tina gave a pretty thorough report in July's meeting, but since then, she and I had an opportunity to meet with Soraya Kong, who's the Vice President of Teen Initiatives at Boys and Girls Club of Sarasota and DeSoto counties. And they actually have a program working with youth, really high school age youth, called the STAR program. It's an acronym that means students taking active roles. And the students actually work through a 60-hour curriculum with the idea of becoming civically engaged in their communities. So one of the things they do, which we may partner with them on, is actually placing young people, students who completed this program on nonprofit boards. So we are working with our board of directors. They have been receptive to it. Of course, if we did choose to go forward with it, we would have to amend our bylaws. The time to do that is in April at our annual meeting. So between now and then, Tina and I are going to, investigate more. We are probably going to take their training, which they have for partners, because we'd have to be approved as partners for the students just as much as we would be vetting the students. So that's what we're going to be working on. And certainly if you'd like to join us, Tina, there may be new people on the call. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you're going to be doing in the coming month or so that if anybody's eager to get involved now rather than later, maybe they have an opportunity?
Well, we were at Ringling on Friday, and it was really interesting to me because last year at the volunteer fair, same event, I tried to get people to join the league, no interest whatsoever. This year, it's very different. We had about 30 students scan the fillable. Now we have a fillable, thanks to Rhonda, application form. And we'll see how many submit it with their student ID to get a free student membership. But there was a lot of interest, which I was very encouraged about. I also had lunch with the new head of the student affairs, De Oliveira in USF, Sarasota Manatee, and they want us to be actively engaged, but not until the spring. So we're going to table one event for voter services in the fall, but in the spring, I think we're going to have quite a bit more to do there. So
Tina, were you able to get Vilya to do the Constitution pamphlets?
I talked to, emailed with Vilya, you know, she's in Scotland, and she said when she came back, that she would do the constitutions. They're interested at USF for National Voter Registration Day to have a lot of information about ranked choice voting, little pocket constitutions, the National Compact, information that can be handed out, you know, along with the normal. And Vilya said, yes, she would do it when she got back on September 2nd.
Tina,
Yeah.
I'm going to, I see on, Vilya's list is Women's Equality Day and has your
Right.
name next to that. So are you going to give us a little, while you're speaking?
Okay, sure. We've worked closely with the League of Women Voters in Manatee and the Women's Resource Center for Women's Equality Day. Rhonda was talking about the editorials that were done to raise awareness as part of our contribution. It's been successful. It is sold out now. And it will be a breakfast tomorrow morning at the Women's Resource Center. And as I said, it's sold out. The Sarasota County Commission also issued a proclamation on Women's Equality Day, but they didn't do it out loud, but apparently we're going to get a certificate to publish ourselves.
The presentation for Manatee County was glorious. I mean, that was just how it should be done. And
Yeah.
who would have thought that Manatee County would be more woke than us?
Yeah. But tomorrow morning, the breakfast, as I said, is sold out. And so that's really good. Yeah.
Thank you. Observer Corps, Susie, that's the County Commission. Do you have a report for us?
This was good because this morning I sent an email to the people that Velia told me were interested and gave them the dates and asked for people to sign up. So we are intending to watch. There are specific people from Venice that like to go to Venice and people from Sarasota who like to go up here. And so I haven't checked my email this today, so I don't know if people have signed up, but hopefully they have. And there's a retreat. I don't know if we're expected to cover the retreat and the public meetings. There's public meetings about the budget that you might be interested in. They're both, I think, going to be in Sarasota. One's on the 10th and one's on the 24th in the evening. And so if people are interested, we have an increased budget and they're going to have public meetings about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just was reminded of an email that was sent to Vilya, but of course I get it as well. And that is just an FYI for Manatee County is having a big rally on November 1st, and we are invited to participate. And so we have a little bit of time to get the details once Vilya gets back, but I wanted to give everyone a heads up about that. I think it's happening at the River Walk. And they have Jessica Lowy Minor, our Florida president, will be, I gather, the keynote speaker, plus other speakers as well.
And in addition, October 11th, we are having our own rally in Venice. League of Women Voters is. That was discussed today, but I don't see the head of that committee here.
But thank you for making that report for us. Now I can cross off that we had a rallies report. Thank you. League in Action, then Voter Services, and then Membership. So League in Action, Jane.
Yes, it says William, but I'm Jane Green. And I'm going to speak on the League in Action app. That is, as you know, or you might not know, it's a digital organizing tool to enhance outreach and to extend our reach out there. So the first steps for us, this is a pilot, was to recruit a small group of people to within our league to serve as admins, to learn about the tool, to the possibilities that the tool gives us for outreach, and to become champions for using it and getting excited about it. So on August 14th, we had a virtual training for people that were interested, and there was about 10 of us. Some of you are right there on the call today. And it was led by Dylan Sioni, who is a regional organizer. And it was about, what is League in Action, the history of League in Action, the purpose of it, success stories, what digital organizing is. And then looking inside the app and seeing what you can do as an admin, what you can do as a supporter. And so out of that training, we have 6 admins who have agreed to be part of this pilot. And we're all kind of helping each other through this, but the next steps are for the admins to recruit 2 to 5 supporters, to let them know that you're doing a pilot. And this can be in the league, personal friends, it can be family, but that you're part of a pilot and that you want them to to download the app, to check it like once a week, to give feedback on what we're posting. And now that I'm hearing about rallies and things, we've got things we can for sure post here. Also to join North Dakota, Kentucky, Madison, Wisconsin circles. They're very active, and it gives you a little bit of inspiration. And then just for the admins to play around with it, posting within the app, sharing, using the text function, and gathering questions. So there's going to be a follow-up meeting next week. It's either on the 2nd or the 4th, most probably the 4th, to talk about how it's going, to maybe talk about some protocols for posting, and feedback and thoughts and ideas about using the app. So that's my report.
Thank you. Voter Services.
Okay, we met at the Ringling on Friday, and as Tina said, it was a really enthusiastic group there, and we had 30 people that we engaged with and got some good feedback about the league. So the young people are really starting to focus on how they can work with us. So that's good. On the 18th of August, we were at the Women's Resource Center Spanish meeting, and we made a presentation on path to citizenship in Spanish. It was a small, it was a short presentation, and it turned out we spent almost an hour answering questions. They were so engaged, they want more information. So we are really looking to put some more programs together for the Spanish community at Women's Resource Center. We're very enthused about the way they responded to our information, how engaged they were in not only the presentation, but the questions and the answers. So hats off to Eileen Howe, who made the translations of Pat Rounds' slides. So it was a community effort, but it turned out to be great. So in September, we have voter registration events. Well, the 24th, we were at, did the Speakers Bureau with the Speakers Bureau, and we had some engagement there at the United Church of Christ on Euclid.
Advocates for the Constitution and values.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So in September, we have voter registration events in relationship to National Voter Registration Day. As Tina said, we're going to be at Venice, at USF, and we will be at Venice State College of Florida on September the 3rd. So we're looking to do more. And then the rest of September is the 16th. We'll have 2 events on the 16th. And then October, we have voter registration events at Ringling College on the 8th and the 29th, at Plymouth Harbor on the 30th, and the 5th is Hootenanny Festival at Mayaca. Please, please, please join. Put the volunteering that you're able to do on the website. We have no people sometimes signed up for these things, and I'm getting in a panic.
Kathy, there's a, Nancy's in the final stages of the September newsletter. If you want to ask her to put something in, perhaps there's time.
Okay, I'll talk to her.
Membership, last but not least.
I will be quick to give Elena some time here. We meet in South County, though we're no longer going to be called South County Lunch and Conversation. It will just be a generic lunch and conversation because we want to be inclusive so that people from Sarasota feel welcome to come to Venice, and our Venice members feel welcome to go to our Sarasota and North County events. So we had our meeting a week ago. We had 13 here in Venice, and Kathy very ably led us in discussion in Vilia's absence. I believe we have, since last February, we have 70 new members, and I believe we have 266 as our current membership number. And Rhonda, correct me if that's not correct, because that seems to fluctuate depending.
Pretty darn close.
Okay, it's close
I
enough.
don't have it memorized, but it's pretty close.
It's close enough. And Elena and I both attend the Florida State membership chair meetings, and those are have a lot of good information. Everyone is struggling with member outreach, orientation, whether it's virtual or in person. And we're talking about, and member engagement of engaging our current members. So we're working on that. Our next membership meeting is by Zoom on the second Tuesday of the month, and it will be on September the 8th. So these will be on the calendar hopefully soon. Elena?
Okay, so I'm just going to hopefully be very brief, but hopefully you all know that September 10th, which is a Wednesday, there will be an event on Main Street for us at the Green Zebra. It's a mix and mingle, and it is from 4 to 6. Their happy hour is 3 to 5. So if anybody comes at 4, they can, between 4 and 5, they can take advantage of it. We'll have the second floor pretty much all to ourselves, and be able to have, hopefully Kathy can, update on what's happening with the league. At this point, there aren't that many people that have signed up, but hopefully, with some additional marketing, we'll get some more people. We kind of, talked about a happy hour, but then that implies drinking. And this is a way that, people can get any kind of liquor they want there and wine, but they don't have to feel obligated. It's not a drinking event necessarily, but it's just a place to mix and mingle and be with other league members and guests. So it's not just members only. We are hoping that there will be some other people coming that will like what we're doing and consider joining. So it's a membership and additional outreach for that. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I don't know if you can hear me. Do we have a mentorship program when someone joins to be mentored into I know you can be mentored in a committee and so forth, but what if they don't know? And
No, we don't. And what we're going to do with those 70 new members since February, we're going forward and we're dividing up that group into those that are on the membership committee, asking each one of us to call personally each of those people and invite them to this monthly meeting that we have here, as well as the upcoming events, the one in Venice and the one in Sarasota, and kind of doing that until we get perhaps a little bit more organized with membership, and then forward with. At this point in time, we're just kind of getting our ducks in a row, and that's what we're doing. And what Deb had mentioned, the Florida meeting, some people are doing quarterly new member orientations. And so we're just at this point going to take advantage of what we have going for us already and just promote what we have, and hopefully that will, and maybe there will be some organic mentorship that will happen. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
but yeah, that's a great thing to do. We just aren't there yet.
yeah, Kathy mentored me. Which is I don't think anybody thanked her for it, but I do.
I didn't know, but I certainly do. You're an incredible
We've heard
addition to
about you
our,
for so long, Tina. So she did a
But-
good job mentoring.
yeah,
and
reels her
promoting
right in. Is that what you're
and
saying?
reining you in.
If I might just piggyback on membership, just to give a update on what has been the bane of our existence, the transformation of the database. I am thrilled to report that at the 100 and some horrid, impossible errors have all been resolved thanks to a fairy godmother who was sent to me from Colorado. And so we've worked through every one of them. And Jill, I am remiss in having alerted you to the fact that student membership is no longer as hideous as it could have been or was. Thanks to the skills of Mary Pat, we now have a form that is a fillable PDF. Students can just fill that out themselves. It says quite clearly that what they do is fill that out and send their student ID, a PDF of the student ID, or a PDF of their current class, course schedule to membership, and they get entered in to the database, and we have to pay that $20, but they become members as soon as we enter them into the system. It's not contingent upon the check going through. So I will send you that form so that you have it available. It's also now on the website when you click there, but it's not ideal as it was once, but it's a lot better than
was.
than it was, right?
Crazy. Yeah.
I have a question. You mentioned that we pay that. Do the students, when they're filling out the form, realize that they're getting a scholarship essentially for
It
membership?
says that in the form, is that it does say that if you want to
Okay,
become a
thank you.
member, you can just scan that QR code and pay the $20 is what we say. But if you want, scholarships are available, and the way in which they're available is by filling out that form and attaching your proof of studentship, and so that's how they know that there's a scholarship available. And I just didn't want to preclude anyone who just says, well, I'll just pay the $20 rather than ask. Sure, do that. But
I have a couple of questions. On the form for the green zebra, to register for that, I registered myself, and then I wanted to register my husband, but he has to register himself. There's no way to say I'm bringing a second person or a second member or anything like that. on that form. So is that going to be the situation for other things that we sign up for? Yeah. Okay.
Hopefully not. I know that we've run into this problem more than once in the past, and it's a Nancy question. So I will look at it myself, and then I'll make sure that Deb and I contact Nancy and say, help.
Okay.
There are
thanks.
so many different ways that an event can be set up, and unless, I guess, unless you're really specific in saying that I want these options, you know, even to be able to see who's registered.
Right.
So I think that's all. It's just a matter of that, and I think that if you ask Nancy to change the configuration, she'll be able to do that easily.
The other question, it's more of an events question. It is an events question. What the events that I've heard today, they're wonderful. They sound great. I've signed up for some of them. I'm curious about whether there will be an opportunity for people who are doing things like natural resources and education and so on to inform the members or the general public about what the legislation is looking like, maybe halfway through the legislative session.
Yep. That's a
So
great
that would be
question.
like around February sometime.
Yep, that's a great question. And we are available as partners with any other team that may have something that they want to put forward. So I know that out there brewing in natural resources land is something. I know that Barbara and Kathy have talked about something with returning citizens. So yeah, anything, you know, I know we also have there's interest in presenting information on Digital Democracy Project. So those are all easily doable in collaboration with us. And so, you know, just like what we did with Superintendent Connors,
Mhm.
which I'm glad we got him first.
Yeah, yeah,
That was good.
yeah, it was well received.
Yeah, that we can make anything happen, and especially if it's by Zoom or something like that, but even for a live event, if we want to do something at the libraries, anything like that. So absolutely, it's just we want to make sure that we've got a calendar that is robust enough. So we don't the first priority was sort of to get something that was a regularly scheduled event, which is
Sure.
what the hot topics are going to be.
Right.
And we can fill in with anything else that anybody wants to do.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's just, you know, last year it was really good being able to get the information out. Want to keep doing that because, you know, the more ways we can get it out, the better off we all are.
And so, Mary Pat, is the protocol that if a committee, an action team wants to have a public event, they should just reach out to you to start the brainstorming and timing process?
Yes, and there is actually, we did create a sheet for the board and for others, for team committee members to sort of how we, you know, what the events planning team purpose was and how we were going to do that, you know, engaging with as partners with others. And I can send that out to everyone if you'd like it. It is on the website, but I can't quote you where it is. But it's somewhere over there with documents.
In our resource folders.
Yes.
If you could send it, that would be great.
Yeah, 100%.
Thanks.
And Mary Pat, you have your hand raised, is there?
I do, yes, because I wanted to just talk briefly about the data gathering, sort of we're calling ourselves an impact team, which is looking at our data and all the activities that we as a local chapter do. And we will be sending an email out this week to all team leaders, committee member leaders, or committee leaders, Because what we're working on is how can we do this really effectively and efficiently for 2026, because we're already in, 8 months, almost 9 months in 2025. But there are some things that we want you all to collect. And so we're going to send that information out to you. It's mainly really around what kind of volunteer hours have people put in. And that's the biggest thing that you can get from your team members. So that'll all be in an email, and then we'll keep you posted about going forward, what the plan is and how we can create something that's easy for people to just, at the time they're thinking about it, put it in and it's done. So.
There's an annual survey that the US League requires of us, and now there is also a Unite and Rise survey that they send out with every 3 months with every playbook, and we're now in playbook 2, so we're getting in the tracking business.
Yeah.
Oh, and I think we heard this, that Florida's 2026-27 strategic plan is likely to be mirrored after the Unite and Rise sort of concept, which is going to require more data gathering. So I think that from my perspective and looking at it, nobody's asked my opinion, but is that if we're all sort of focused on heading in the right direction or in the same direction, that we'll at least be able to figure out where that path goes a little more clearly.
Susie and Barbara?
Plug in League in Action, the database, the information in the background in the administration is very, very good. So that's another reason to be involved in League of Action.
Right.
Susie, you have your hand up, and then I think Barbara, you had yours.
I do. I just wanted to tell everyone that I don't know if this is appropriate, but September 1st, there are rallies being planned by Indivisible. If people want to attend, please tell your friends and neighbors. That's all. And the October 11th, if you would talk that up for Venice, we would like to have a big turnout for.
And I think that I think that Kim is working with Liz on graphics for that as well. Am I right? Or did you hear that? Yes. Okay.
Liz was, yes, today, and she was going to add the logo to the posters we do have, and somebody's working on Manatee County's poster and making it more Sarasota equivalent. I don't know what that meant exactly, but the one that says, support your Constitution, that sign. Anyway, that's all I wanted to
Thank you,
add.
Barbara.
So all I wanted to say informally is that the buzz that I hear from people on the state board who occasionally talk is that being able to measure what the league is doing, the effectiveness of what we're doing, is something very important to our new executive director and potentially, I guess, to our new president. So if we as a league can start doing that locally, it will do us in good stead, both locally and also with that, what I consider to be very long form from the US that I looked at a little bit before the meeting Mary Pat was talking about. So it would be good for us to do that.
Thank you. Melinda, did you?
Yeah, I put my hand up, but then it went away.
But I remember.
My question is to Jill. What kind of reaction are we getting because of Rose being back on the board, on the school board?
Two things. I've sent my letter to the editor that went in yesterday, and the Sea Alliance is having a planning meeting. People are very upset, very upset.
Hello.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on. We're upset
They
about.
mentioned,
No, that's it.
They had mentioned it Sunday afternoon when we were there for Tracy's talk. That group, the advocacy, it's an Advocates for Constitutional Values. It's a group that kind of just started, but they were talking about that, and they said the Alliance is extremely upset, and that they're going to go to the board or to whoever, I don't know.
The problem is that people speak so emotionally sometimes that it's hard for the board to hear what people are saying. And it also creates a difficult situation in the boardroom. So legally, the chair of the board cannot shut somebody down for what, even if they do the most horrible attack on a person on the board
Wow,
or in the audience, they cannot be shut down.
my goodness.
And there was just a lawsuit about that, and that was the decision that was made. So people get up, speak at school board meetings, get people riled up, and people leave with bad feelings. So we have to be very careful when we speak. And hopefully this situation with Karen Rose will not lead to over the top emotional comments at the board meeting, which, you know, some of us are very concerned about.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have another meeting, so I'm going to have to leave in about 3 minutes.
Well, we're gonna be done, I think by then, so good.
Okay.
Anyone? Susie, were you waving or?
I was waving
No,
goodbye.
I was going to say something about the state board and the strategic direction.
Please.
I will say this, we are working on the strategic plan. It's not been finalized yet, but every component of it is going to have a number attached to it. So how many more members do we want? You know, what's the goal? I don't know. I don't have the list of features memorized, but each one of them will have a number attached. So yeah, we need to keep track for sure.
Curious thing, in July, we had, I think, 15 new members. And in August, as far as I can tell, so far we have 1. So that's like the lowest in my years of overseeing membership. So it's a quiet August, but July was probably among the busiest that we've ever had. So curious
There are
times.
also a lot of competing organizations,
Mhm.
more than ever. I mean, they're springing up because of what's happening politically, you know, the more groups are being formed. So, yeah.
Thank you all. Donna, do you have any observations or thoughts that you'd like to share? No? Okay, I won't put you on the spot.
You know
Lovely.
what we need to do? We need to make sure that we make calls to individual people that we know are active with us and invite them and make sure that they know when this next meeting is going to take place at the end of the month. And we just can't recruit enough. And
Yeah.
it belongs to us to do that, to get people interested to go.
And I think that, orientations are wonderful, but I think that, attending a newcomer, just sitting here and listening to what's going on, it could be both overwhelming, but at the same time, something sparks. Oh, they're working on thus and such.
Right.
That interests me, and they can have the opportunity to pick and choose and hear real people and
Right. But
pleasant
that's
people.
why our South County, what is it now, Deb, luncheon.
Conversation.
Yeah. Because we go there and you feel if you haven't been there, you've really missed out because there's so much information given.
Yeah.
And I also think that we as members are the best recruiters because
Yes.
we have enthusiasm about why we joined. And that is one thing that I don't know that we track. What attracted you to the league? Why did you join the league? And I think that's something that we can capitalize on because everybody has a passion. We don't always know what it is, and they maybe don't want to lay it out there. but everybody has a reason. And I think we need to, we're our best recruiters, members.
Well,
Well,
thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate it, and I learned stuff too.
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye now.
Sarah.
You.
Here.
Bye. Thank you, Rhonda.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.